All right. My name is Karma Bird, um, and I'm making this video honestly because I've come to the conclusion that I'm never going to have the impact as a father that I expected to have. Um, Unfortunately, it's because I just got one of those baby moms. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, this whole thing is all too common. It's all too common, which is odd. Like my father went through it, or my brother went through it, I went through it, and just about every dude that I know, man, has a baby mom that will not cooperate with them. Um, and so I decided to make this video because I've come to the conclusion that there are things that I've always wanted to teach my sons in particular. I have two sons and a daughter that I'm sure because of the control that the women have in their lives that I'll never get a chance to teach them. And I'm making this video in hopes that uh, when they get older, or when I do be able to come into their lives or whatever, that they know um, that I wanted to be there, that I wanted to be that father, that I wanted to be there daily, that they know the truth about um, how things should have gone, um, and why. So the purpose of this video is not necessarily for consumption. It's really for my kids. And the title of this series is going to be called Dear Black Sons, because I have two sons that are black, and I would have liked to have been around to be able to raise them into men. And when I say be around, I'm talking about like daily, right? Because even if I go and I fight for custody, not custody, but time shared and all of that stuff. Let's say I get to see them every weekend, right? Every single weekend out of the month. That's 8 days out of the month. 8 times 12 is 96. That would be 96 days out of 365 days that I would be able to see them. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way I go. I will not have the effect that I was supposed to, that God intended for me to have on my children, in particular because of the type of mother of child that I have. Um, I'm bringing this all up to say how we get to this point and why this thing is a problem for our culture. Okay. Um, as a man, it is very, very, it is hard to be a black man in this society, son. This is why I'm making this video for you. Because despite me not being able to see you, there are things that I need to be able to teach y'all to be able to maneuver out here, and the things that I have learned as a man. Um, First of all, I want to break down to you our culture and why it is the way that it is, and why it's problematic, so much to a point to where I made this video to speak to you directly. In slavery, in slavery, there was a process on how to breed a slave. It was equal to the process of horses. And what they would do is they would mate a woman with a man, and the moment that she got pregnant, they would send the man out into the field to not be a part of the family, right? And what that did is that caused resentment. That was the first strike of resentment in regards to how women, our black women, felt about our men, right? And when they would send the man to the field, the woman would end up having to raise the children on her own, right? But she would raise her children on her own while relying from the slave master. That was the thing. And when she would raise little boys, she would raise the boys to be weak and submissive. And she would raise them to be weak and submissive because she would raise them to be weak and submissive because she feared for their life. Because she knew if the dude got strong enough to uprise, they would just kill him. But she would raise the females to be strong and independent because that's all that she knew. That she only knew to be strong and independent, right? And it was said that if they could control the woman's mind, take the man out of the family, control the woman's mind, then they would be able to control our whole entire culture for generations and generations and generations. So what they do is they take things and they focus on the female first, because females tend to move off of emotion. So they can feel something and it can be real to them. So they mess with the female's mind first, because that's how it starts. It starts as a thought, then a feeling, then an action, right? So they mess with the female's mind. They put all sorts of stuff in the female's mind, and then they just bring it to fruition in our culture. And that's pretty much how it happened, man. That was the start of us. They would emasculate us hugely. These guys would rape us in front of our families and stuff like that, beat us to an inch of our lives. And when the females would see that in our culture, they would lose respect for us, because they would turn right around and do it right to the woman, because we couldn't protect them, right? And that was also something that was passed down. So most black females, if you are a black man, most black females will always look at us as boys. Even as grown men, we always be boys. That's why they talk to us the way that they talk to us. That's why they don't respect us. That's why they look down on us. It is a part of our culture. Conversely, that's why men are weak, submissive, frail, right? And it gets to a point that even when men are strong, it's so uncommon in our culture that it's seen as aggressive or abusive or manipulative, because we're not used to strong men. We're only used to weak men that we can control and whatever, because that's just how they built it into our culture. And it's important for you to know that. It's important for you to understand the dynamic of the relationships between the black people and the culture and the world, and how it got here and why we're here. Why I'm not seeing you. I'm not seeing you because somewhere hundreds of years ago, it started to be cool for the man to be away from the home. That's why I don't see you. And then on top of it, they incentivize it. They incentivize our females they weaponize our females against us. So they incentivize us. Oh, you don't need him Section 8 housing. Oh, you don't need him EBT card. Oh, you don't need him Medicare, Medicaid. You don't need that. You can do it by yourself. You're never doing it by yourself. You're relying on the government. And it's been programmed in you for a really long time. And it's to a point now, man, to where I have to start talking about this, because I can see this. I can see the matrix, and I'm trying to get people to unplug from it. I really am. This is why you have that prison industry booming the way that it's booming. All of our black males are locked up. Dudes are gay, not wanting to be men, want to be more women than men, right? All of that starts from the mother. And you guys don't even think about how deep that is. Like, it's ironic that women complain so much about how terrible black men are when you raised them. You've made them, honey. It's statistic. It's just statistics. It is. Look the stats up. Statistically, a man and woman home. Statistically, a man and woman home and a man raising a child is better than a woman raising a child by herself, statistically, right? So this first video was just to let you know why we're here, why I'm not able to see you. It's not because daddy's crazy or daddy is a problem or he's a jerk. It's the American dream. This is how they made it. This is why they made this cool. It was one time, and this one is for my twins. It was one time I was on the phone with your mom, and your mom was talking about bringing you to come see me. And this was like the first time in a long time, right? And your grandmother said to your mom, well, you didn't let Ava, who's your older sister, you didn't let Ava see their dad until they were 2. Why are you bringing them out there? See how natural that is? They came out of my balls. Like, that's crazy to me. That in our culture, we're the ones that are like that. No other race is like that, bro. It's only us. But it's only us because we were programmed like that, like this was put into us. The division was put into us and perpetuated. And that's why it's still here. That's why we're divided. Right? So from here on out, again, the reason why I'm making this video is because there are things that I need to teach you as a black man and to understand why we're at where we're at in life, our culture, how it's going to affect you, the things that you need to know in life in the future that I had to learn on my own, because I won't be able to teach you that. I won't get that time. Even if I get time, I won't get the time that I need to be able to teach you things you need to know as a black man. And I'm sorry that that's how our culture is. I really am. All right. With that being said, man, I wrote some things down that I wanted to talk about in this first video that I think is very important. All right. Number one, the single most important asset in your life is you. It's you, right? The world runs better when men are at their best. But you need to understand that that is not what they're going to feed you. They're not gonna feed you that information, because if you're a man and you're at your best, you're also the most powerful being in the world, which also makes you dangerous and makes you a threat for the people that are up there. So they never feed that to our culture. As you watch TV and stuff, you will notice that you will see us killing each other. You will see us smoking, us drinking, us hoeing, us tricking, us twerking. Like that, you'll see us doing that. But you don't be seeing that with the other cultures. And they do that purposely. They program us purposely not to take care of ourselves, to hurt ourselves. Black Death, son, Black Death is one of the leading industry things, right? We're the only people that literally be in the club dancing to Black Death. Kill a nigga, fuck a bitch. Kill a nigga, fuck a bitch. They don't do that anywhere else with any other culture. And it's not us that want to see that happen. It's all a lie. It's not really like that. It's not really like that in real life. Black men are not really like that in real life. In fact, as we speak, son, I don't know any thugs, personally. Not right now. I don't know any thugs in real life. I don't know any athletes in real life. I don't know any rappers in real life. In real life, we're just working 9 to 5s like everybody else, son. That's the truth. But media is not going to show you that, because they want to show you, they want to program you to be either an athlete, a thug, or a rapper, or a terrible father. They want to program you for that. But not all, in addition, when they're programming you for that, they're programming the entire world to see that. So they treat you like that. And when they treat you like that, you end up moving like that. The goal is to keep you less than. That is the goal in this country. So the first thing you need to understand is you need to protect yourself. You're the most important asset. Work out, man. Work out every day. Learn something every day. Read something every day. Do something to progress toward a certain goal in life every single day. Do not believe the TV about us. It's a lie. Okay? Second thing that you need to know. Everything in the United States of America, everything in the United States of America was literally set up for you to lose. And it's unfortunate, but these are the hard truths. Everything. Our public school system lies about everything. It whitewashes you and teaches you to celebrate inferiority. So when they talk about slavery, they talk about it like, oh, this shit was just slavery, but to let you know, just it was a time where you were less than us, you're still less than us, and you're going to be less than us. Like you've been less than us from the beginning. Like it's basically a way of subliminally keeping you in that state of slavery, Like, I'm a slave, I'm a slave, I'm a slave, I'm a slave. All my family is slaves, we slave. That's all they talk about is fucking slavery. But here's the crazy thing. Before slavery, sons, we have a whole history and lineage of running the shit out of this planet. And they will never tell you that. They will never let you know that. Okay? But fortunately, your father, I've been rooted in Afrocentricity since I was in the 5th grade. I got to go to a school called Afrocentric. And when I went to Afrocentric, there were black teachers there. There were teachers that graduated from black colleges. There were teachers with multiple degrees and titles and accomplishments. They were amazing, right? But I'd never seen that on TV. That's not what was on TV, which is deep. So that is something that you need to know. They weaponize everything against us in particular. So you're going to have to do everything twice as hard. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to do everything more just to get less than most people, bro. And that's the sad reality of it. So now that you know that, you can flip the dynamic and be able to work differently, be able to work in a different way that's going to help you progress in life. So know that, all right? The schools are lying about everything. Public, don't believe nothing in public school, especially with history and government in particular. Don't listen to neither one of those. All right. B. The government in particular weaponizes people against us men, especially black men. Like what you see and what you hear becomes you, and that is a major thing. That's a real thing, right? So that means that's the reason why the media paints us and the perception that they paint us. Think about how many kids strive to be athletes. How popular it is for you to get a scholarship for basketball or track or whatever. Like we strive for that all of our lives. But how many of us are striving to own the fucking team? Because they don't put that up there. They don't put in commercials with black people as owners up there. They'll put us as the players, thus continuously still making us slaves. And if you take the comparison, just like use the NBA, there's like 600 of them, right? They make hella money. They make millions and millions of dollars to entertain us, right? Back in the day, these people would be equivalent during slavery as the house Negroes, the entertainers. They're the ones that they let in the club while we're all out in the field. Another way to keep us divided. So there's so many different things that I'm going to teach you about on here that we really need to talk about it. You need to know as black men what's coming towards you and why you need to be prepared. All right. The only way that they take us serious in this world is entertainment. That's it. That's it. They won't show us in any other light. Okay. So you got to be aware that that's a lie. We're more than that. I have met black doctors, lawyers, professionals. Obama was a president, which you probably might not see another black president again. We belong at the top in that hierarchy as well. And here's another secret that I tell you. We do it better. Everything we touch, we do better. That's why they don't want to give us shit here. Okay? Boom. Another thing. The most important thing that the government has control over, again, is the state of the black women, man. If you look at it's your mothers, your aunties, your sisters, your cousins, you ever notice how they all seem to have the same like attitude? I don't give up. I'm independent. How is it all like most of them are like that, right? At the same time, right? How is that a thing? How is that possible, right? How is it that I know like 6 or 7 dudes going through the same stuff with their baby mom where they're not able to see their kid, and they all of us have the same exact story, but they're completely different women? How is that? That, my friends, is called a program. And the way to destroy us, black men, the way to destroy us is through our women. And these are things that I've been talking about the whole time that I've been on here. But it's imperative that you understand that, son. So you understand that when your mother is raising you, that she doesn't even know that she's destroying you. She doesn't even know that the dynamic of taking me away from you is hurting you as a man. Because she doesn't understand that dynamic. Your mother doesn't understand what it's like for a stand-up man to say, hey, no, you were wrong. That's not cool. because your grandfather doesn't do that. And that's just real. But he has also been programmed. So it's kind of like it's a program that I want you to be aware of and I want you to break out of, right? You were put here to lead. Do you understand me? They're not gonna teach you that. That's something that you're gonna have to learn from me. You were put here to lead, not to follow anybody. You were put here to make things happen on this earth. Don't be submissive to any woman. You stand up and you be a man and you run your household. And if she cannot get under your program, don't mess with her. Let her go. Let her go. That's just important to know. And when I say they weaponize our black women against us, this is other stuff. So when I was telling you about the story about how they would mate the woman together and send her like out, send the man out in the field, what she would end up relying on is the slave master, right? So this whole notion of if this was done correctly, then it would be perpetuated in our race for at least 400 years, right? So this is what the government does too. They incentivize women not to be with us, bruh. They incentivize us to break up black families in particular. Section 8 housing, food stamps, all of that stuff. You don't need him. And this is what I, kind of what I already talked about. Boom. The last thing that I want to talk about today. You will never be appreciated. It's unfortunate, but you will go your whole life and never be appreciated as a black man. Nobody's going to say thank you. Nobody's going to say I love you. Nobody's going to say that I care. Nobody's going to let you cry on his shoulder. You're going to go pretty much your whole life with the whole world telling you to shut the fuck up and man up. But nobody is going to say thank you for the things that you do. You are not going to be rewarded for being a man. You're not going to be rewarded for taking care of business. You're not going to be rewarded for paying bills. You're not going to be rewarded for leading. You're not going to be, because they don't teach people in the United States to respect black men enough to look up to them in that light. Because the people in the United States will always look at us as boys because of the program. You will never be looked at as a man. And you will never be looked at as a man that is worth worship or worth value. Hence, you will never be appreciated. And these are all unfortunate things that you're going to experience as a black man. But somebody's got to tell you the truth. And that's why I'm making this. Because I don't think that I'm going to be around to be able to tell you the truth that you need to learn as being a black man here. But that big one, you will never be appreciated. You will never be appreciated. And I'm sorry for that. Karma, Isaiah, I love you very much. And I hope that one day you both get to see these videos and you get to know that this is the type of fatherhood that you would have had if I would have been able to be in your lives the way that I wanted to be. Till next time, dear black sons.